Hey everyone, I am creating this video to give you an idea. Some of the feedback I've actually received so far about using Ambition in Motion and scheduling your meetings with your mentor or any other professional was I've received some feedback that it's been a little bit confusing when scheduling your meetings with your mentor, how to use Calendly and set up your availability, and I get the proper information from Calendly. So I wanted to create a quick video to just literally do a screen share and walk you through how to make the most out of this experience and how to use Calendly best, how it can be really effective. I mean, you can send emails back and forth to schedule meetings and just do a Google Calendar invite and just send it to them, and that's fine. But I found Calendly to be extremely effective if used properly. And so I wanted to create a video to just give you an idea of and walk you through via screen share how you can use Calendly best. So I'm just going to do a quick screen share and walk you through my Calendly and how to use that best. So you can officially see my screen. I'm on Calendly.com. So I type in Calendly dashboard. So this is what my dashboard looks like. So I can see, the only phone call that I allow to like pop up for people is phone call with Garrett, which is a 30-minute meeting. All these other ones are essentially turned off. But yeah, so essentially, I only have phone call with Garrett as my only event type. So the way you turn that off is you just go back. I don't know if you saw me do that. Click more on your dashboard. Click that right there. And literally, I turn off my 15-minute meeting. I turn off my 30-minute meeting. I turn off my 60-minute meeting. Literally, you can see right here, it's turned off. The 60-minute meeting. Oh, sorry, I won't do that one. But a 15-minute meeting. Okay, sorry. I can only do one with the free version anyway. So the only meeting I have set up is my one-on-one call with Garrett. So that's the only call that I have set up. You can see it's turned on green right here, and that's essentially how that works. So I'm going to go back. And if I were to want to edit this meeting, if I want to edit this, people to have a meeting with me, I would click here. I'd click edit. Now, the first thing that I might want to do is I might want to set my availability for when people can book this event. So literally, I would click this button right here. Click when can people book this event. The event duration is 30 minutes. The date range can be scheduled over a 60-day period, and my time zone is Eastern Standard Time. So here's my availability. So let's say if on Wednesdays, so right now I will actually be out of town on essentially next Monday and Tuesday, and then I come back on Wednesday. But if I were to want to set my availability for Wednesday to be for just February 27th, I can literally set my calendar. So I can literally add a new interval and say, hey, I'm available from 11, or rather, I'm going to say 12 o'clock p.m. until 6 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday. So boom, and if I want to just apply it to February 27th, I just click apply to February 27th, and boom, now my availability is set for just February 27th. Now, if I were to want to set my availability for February 27th, or rather for every Wednesday to be from 12 to 6 p.m., I would go to click apply to all Wednesdays. So now you can see the rotating sign here. So when I click show more, all of my Wednesdays show 12 to 6 p.m. availability. Now I'm not actually going to do that because I'm available for more than that on just Wednesday. So I'm going to click cancel and exit out of my unsaved changes. But I'm going to go back to when can I book this event. A couple other key things here. Yeah, so I know like the default for Calendly is to set up your 9 to 5, but let's say if you're available outside of 5 o'clock, you can make it for later. So 11 to 7. And that's my rolling availability for Wednesdays. But you can change it to any time you want to. And the way that you change it is you can literally go in, click. If you want to make it from 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock, if I were to want to say that I'm unavailable, I can make it for only March 13th, or I can make it for all Wednesdays. I can literally click either one. So if I were to just click apply to Wednesday, the March 13th, boom. Now no one can book a meeting with me on March 13th. Now any meetings that have already been booked on March 13th are going to still stay on my calendar, but it'll not show availability for March 13th after that. So I'm going to click cancel because I like how my availability is set up. But you would click save if you were to want to save your availability. So hopefully that was clear. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, 30-minute meetings. You can click your availability. And yeah, so we're going to click cancel. The next thing that I want to talk about is invitee questions. So these are the questions that you can ask your invitees to answer for a meeting. So one thing typically just that says is your full name and email address. One thing that I've added is phone number. So anytime that I set up a meeting with somebody, I want to know what their phone number is. I don't want to essentially be left hanging here or have a meeting scheduled but not know who to call. Another question I could ask is, what is the purpose of what is the topic of our conversation? Literally make that a question. If I were to make this, yeah, I can make it multiple lines, so it's more of a like a comment box. I click apply right here. Boom. Now someone can see that when they schedule a meeting with me. Now right now it's not set up as a required answer. So if I were to require somebody to answer that question for me, click the checkbox required. That's really important, because if you don't checkbox the checkbox for required, then people may not answer that question. You may not get that information you want. Now I'm going to cancel because I'm not going to ask that question. I like full name, email, and phone number. But that's just how you can ask a new question and set up something with your mentor or any other professional that you want to schedule with. Now, the other big thing that I wanted to talk about was this button right here is, what is this event? So you can see what the event is, and essentially, like, yeah, any instructions that you want to give. So, you know, for anybody that schedules a meeting with me, I just say, hey, please call Garrett at my number. The location is my phone number because I'm only setting up phone calls. So that is essentially what that is. And then another thing that I wanted to show you was back onto the event type. One really big and crucial thing, is right here. When you click advanced, this is something that's really, really helpful. Click advanced on your availability. So the meeting times are only in increments of 30 minutes. If I were to say I can only schedule 10 meetings a day, I would put in 10 right there. I'm not going to do that though. But the other big thing that I have right here, so I don't like last second meetings. I don't like, looking at my calendar for the day and then all of a sudden looking at it like 2 seconds later and I've got a bunch of meetings that I didn't see before. So what I require is that you schedule a meeting with me 6 hours in advance. So that's what this number is. If it were to be 1 hour, it could be that. If I want to be 6 hours, it's obviously going to be that. Now the other big thing here is called event buffers. So if I want to make sure that I don't have like back to back to back meetings with zero breaks, if I set my events up like that, it could be bad because I might have a call that goes overtime, which means I'm going to be late to my next call. So what I set up is a 15-minute buffer. So no one can schedule a call with me for 15 minutes before another event that I have. It just makes my life so much easier. It makes it a lot easier to schedule, and it makes it a lot easier to make an event happen. But those are just a quick tips on how you can use Calendly, because once you have this set up, I mean, it is really easy. All you have is then the link. I mean, if you go here and I click share my link, like boom, all I have to do is copy this. All I have to do is copy this, send it to somebody, and as opposed to having to go back and forth to identify what is the best time to meet, I can literally send them the link and they can choose a time on my calendar. Now, so that is essentially how Calendly works, and I would say how you can effectively leverage Calendly to make the most out of that experience. If you have any questions, if Calendly is still confusing, if there are any things that you'd like to learn more about with Calendly, or if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me, and I'd be more than happy to walk you through it and see if there are any questions that I can answer. But hopefully this was helpful in terms of setting up your Calendly. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know.